Hello guys, thanks for joining me. Well, I'm going to be doing another nostalgic magazine review, and we got a 4th of August 1977 edition of the German youth magazine Bravo. On the cover here you got Rita Ford of the Runaways and the Bay City Rollers. Turn on to the inside, we've got a couple of pages here of letters to the editor. So readers writing in various questions and the like. Got a picture of David Cassidy. He was quite big at the time. Got a little article here on Brian Connolly and his wife Marilyn and their firstborn daughter. He was a member of the British group Sweet. Moving on, we've got a full page spread here of the Sex Pistols. And it says here, Sex Pistols, the most hated rock band in the world. And we got John Ritchie there, lead singer John Lydon, Paul Cook, and Steve Jones. I lived in Germany at the time, but the Sex Pistols were never played on AFN radio or shown on AFN TV. But I watched a lot of German TV, and I did get to see them there. I was a bit of a fan of them, not a real big fan, but I did like their music at the time. Probably the only kid in my class who did, or actually knew about them. Anyhow, the article here says, taking pot shots at the Queen. That's following their God Save the Queen album, not album, but single and tour. So we've got Johnny Rotten here, John Lydon, the lead singer. He was called Rotten because of his bad teeth. And we've got Sid Vicious here, the bass player. His real name was John Ritchie. He died, I think, in early 1979. It says here that his real name is John Beverly, but it isn't. I think Beverly was his stepfather, but his real name would have been John, as I said, John Ritchie. So, moving on, we've got a full page here and an ad for coconut ice cream, and we've got this nice looking South Sea maiden here sitting there on a palm tree with her legs wide open, and the line here says, "Take a bite, Robinson." Well, moving on, we've got the Bellamy brothers. Even I was never a fan of them. They were I wouldn't say they were that big, but they were quite popular at the time. And it says here, four brothers share a hit. I was never really into their music. Got a jokes page here, and a kind of a trip here to the beach by the Bravo magazine, and it has Siv Inger here with some readers. And then we got a article here on a brand new sci-fi series called Moonbase Alpha, or Moonbase Alpha, which of course is the Space 1999 series that started. I'm not quite sure exactly when they were first broadcast in the UK. It's a British sci-fi series, but it had its first airing on German TV on the 7th of August 1977, and this is just an introduction to the series, about what it's all about. Nice picture here of an eagle, one of my favorite sci-fi spaceships. We've got some photographs here of the actors playing the crew, including Martin Landau and Barbara Bain. I enjoyed the series. I must have watched it from that time onwards. I don't remember when it came on to AFN TV. Must have been around the same time, I would imagine, but I watched both the German dubbed versions on German TV, and I watched the original English programs on AFN, so it was a bit of a treat for a sci-fi fan at the time. One thing I didn't know until I read this magazine is that Barbara Bain and Martin Landau were actually married to each other. I did not know that. Moving on, we got a kind of a agony aunt page here, readers writing in with various problems, and a crossword puzzle here with a prize of a typewriter. In late June 1977, I left 6th grade. I left elementary school, and after the vacation, In August 1977, I went into junior high school, 7th grade. And one of my first classes that I took was typing, so that would have been a nice prize for me if I had entered it. Not that I would have done it, I would never have been able to fill it out. I don't even think nowadays I would be able to fill it all out. Moving on, we got a series here of motorcycle accidents. It says here that in 1976, just over 700 young motorcyclists under the age of 18 were killed on German roads, and this basically tells the story of one of them. So that's an 18-year-old cyclist here, motorcyclist. He had a Honda 750cc Gold Wing, and he had his girlfriend on the back of the bike. He turned around and went into a car and killed himself, and she ended up with a broken leg here, so it kind of goes on about that. Got a nice spread here on Lita Ford. She was in the California band The Runaways, had Joan Jett in it. I was aware of the Runaways at the time. I wasn't really a fan of them, I wouldn't think. It wouldn't be until probably the very early 1980s that I got into Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, but anyhow, that's an article here on Lita. Again, I didn't know until I read the article that she was actually born in London. Her father's English, her mother's Italian, so who knew? We got Dr. Korff doing more of his sex education essays here. We've got a nice full page spread here, an ad here for golden friendship rings. And we've got the results of a poll that the magazine did on who was your favorite Bay City roller. And apparently 50,000 readers wrote in, and the poll went that the lead singer Leslie McCowan got the top position at 38%. I was never really into the Bay City Rollers, and in fact I don't even think I was much aware of them. They were more a girls band, I think. So anyhow, he got 38% of the vote, and this guy here, Alan Longmuir, he only got 5% of the vote. That's a bit of a bit sad, isn't it? So 50,000, so 5% of 50,000, what's that? 2,500 readers voted for him. Anyhow, here's a poster of the lead singer. And then we got a photo love story here. And then we got some pen friends. People looking in, writing in, looking for pen friends. So we got both boys and girls writing in. Very popular at the time. I think probably less so nowadays. I can't even think if people still do pen friends nowadays, but I had one. If I'm being honest, I had a Japanese pen friend when I was about 15. A Japanese girl from Tokyo by the name of Imo. Anyhow, there's an ad for a for the German Bundeswehr, the Navy there. I did like Tom Petty when I was in my teens, so we got an article here on Tom Petty when he just first started out. I got into Tom Petty a little bit later, probably in the later 70s, early 80s, but that's him just starting out. They moved to London, and it says here, Tom Petty, the newest heartbreaker on the rock scene. And we've got some pop news here. So, for example, it says here, Iggy Pop has just returned from his world tour and is back in Berlin. And him and David Bowie are planning to do a new LP. I really liked Iggy Pop, and one of my favorite songs of the time was the Passenger. And of course, David Bowie did his famous album Heroes in Berlin at that time. Again, one of my favorite albums. We got the lyrics here to It's a Game by the Bay City Rollers. So we got the original English lyrics here and the translations into German. We've got the top 20 international hits, the top 20 German hits, England's or the British top 10 here, and American top 10 Billboard there. International hits, the number one spot was the Bay City Rollers. Number two spot was Yes Sir, I Can Boogie by Bakar. I really did like them. And Third place is Ma Baker by Boney M, again another group that I liked. And there's Susie Quattro, I did like her as well. And there's Siv Inger, I did like her as well. In case you're interested, I Feel Love by Donna Summer was the top hit in the United Kingdom at that time. Moving on, we got an article here of one of the readers of the magazine, a 17-year-old boy being flown to Hollywood to present Susan Dey with a magazine award. In case you don't know, probably if you're British you wouldn't know Susan Dey, but she was an actress who played in a very popular TV series at the time called The Partridge Family, along with David Cassidy. In fact, she and David Cassidy went out for a while, I think. Anyhow, that's the reader here by the name, what's his name? George. Enjoying his time in California. Check him out in his white sailor trousers and his fancy Union Jack top and his 8mm Cine camera. So we got the TV listings for German TV of the period, so the 8th to the 14th of August. And they were showing Mr. Universe with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jeff Bridges. There's Matt Dillon of there. Gunsmoke, that's right. Got a short story here. And moving on, I've absolutely no interest in sports, so I don't know who this guy is. Klaus Fischer, it says here, Bravo introduces the most feared player of the Bundesliga season 77 to 78. I absolutely hate sports, so I have no idea who this guy is. Moving on, we got Silver Convention. They were quite big. Again, another group that I liked at the time. And oh boy, this guy here, he was the biggest thing at the time. As I say, I was just about to go into junior high school, and he was the top dog for all the girls. I mean, he was on all the posters and everything else. And then, of course, it's Leif Garrett. You can see him there, the all-American boy look at the time. He was on all the posters, all the notebooks at school. We had to cover our school books in paper, so a lot of the girls had him on the cover of their school books. And you just can't believe how popular this guy was at the time. Never did much for me. I don't even remember much of his music. I'll have to look into YouTube and just remind myself what he played, but he was really, really big at the time. And then we finish up with a little poster here for Lee Smith. He was the lead singer of the American group Stars. I don't remember him at all, so I can't remember him. So that's it, a little nostalgic look at the 4th of August 1977 edition of Bravo. Anyhow, as always, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.